So it seems like I've got 17 people joined in the game, but I have like 30 people on the call. So I'm not sure if there's some people who are having trouble getting in, or maybe you think that you don't have to play. You do.
Well, while everyone is getting logged in, I think I can get us started. If that works. Carmen, you ready for us?
I am.
Awesome. Hi, welcome to the 13th annual Hillels of Memphis Yiddishe Cup. My name is Carolyn Schreier. I am a member of the Rhodes Hillel Advisory Council and one of the Yiddishe Cup co-chairs. I'm honored to welcome you to this year's take on this beloved event, which has moved online as a trivia tournament of epic proportions. Thank you all for answering the call to represent your Hillel, test your trivia knowledge, and earn year-long bragging rights for your university, all while raising money for an excellent cause. The Yiddishe Cup serves as the primary community fundraiser for Hillels of Memphis, a program of Memphis Jewish Federation. Proceeds benefit Jewish students at University of Memphis and Rhodes College through educational programs, social events, Shabbat meals, and much more. Thank you to all of our sponsors who have generously contributed to this year's fundraising effort. We'll be recognizing and celebrating you throughout the tournament. I'd like to give a special shout out to our two co-chairs of the Hillels of Memphis Advisory Councils, Wendy Rotter and Hal Fogelman, who have generously sponsored our two teams, alongside Craig and Kathy Weiss and Fogelman Properties. I'd also like to recognize our media sponsor, the Hebrew Watchman, and prize sponsor, Robert Irwin Jewelers. The round and question sponsors will be recognized throughout the tournament and again at the end. The grand prize for the individual with the most points is a $250 gift certificate to Robert Irwin Jewelers, with a $150 and $100 gift certificate going to the second and third place winners. Also, the team that earns the most cumulative points will earn an end of semester celebration for their Hillel as the semester comes to a close. Without further ado, I'll pass the mic over to our host, Carmen, who's going to guide us through the tournament. And also, if you look in the chat, you'll see a clickable link to get you signed up so that we can all get playing as soon as Carmen's done explaining the rules. Thanks so much.
Oh, Carmen, we can't hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, I was like trying to make sure that I was not talking over anybody else, but welcome to the Hillels of Memphis Yiddishe Cup online trivia tournament. In just a couple of minutes, we are going to get started. I just want to make sure that everyone has had a chance to get in. If there's anyone that still has not been able to sign up, just let me know. We also still have a few people joining. As people are joining, we may get more people for our game, and that is fine. The way our game is going to work is we will have 8 rounds of trivia today, all basically related to things you should know about Memphis, your school, all things Jewish. So 8 rounds of trivia. They will get, there are points that are given for each question. The faster you answer a question, the more points you will get. So it's not just about if you get it right, but also how quickly you can find that right answer. Each round will go a little bit faster and the points will be worth a little bit more. Our very last round is our high stakes round. So in our last round, our point values should be up to 1,000 points per question. And it, depending on how fast you're able to answer. But the 8th round gets a little tricky. If you get a question wrong, you will lose the amount of points that you would have won had you gotten it right. It makes the 8th round makes it up for the game up for grabs for anybody, really. The game can turn around in a second. So don't despair. You're going to see some tallies for your team and as individuals. But like I said, every round, those point values get more and more. So there's always a chance to catch up, take over your fellow players, and win one of those awesome prizes that we have today. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, which should show you our trivia game. I'll get right over to that. All right, is everybody able to see the trivia screen?
Yep.
And we probably would like a little bit of music, just like a real game show. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start the countdown. So if there's anyone who is still getting into the room, who still needs to get signed up, you've got about 2 minutes to do so. Or just let me know that no one needs to do that and we can get started. Anybody? I do see we have about 25 players. All right, well, I don't hear anything from the peanut gallery. So we are gonna get right to it. I should just say, my disclaimer at the beginning, I am so sorry. I am terribly sorry to anyone whose names I mispronounce. There are lots and lots of wonderful sponsors today, and I highly doubt I will get all of them right, but I'm gonna try my hardest. All right, so we are on our first question. Which of the following movies does not partially take place in Memphis? Is it Silence of the Lambs, The Firm, Green Book, or Walk the Line? So go ahead and select your answers on your devices. I see people talking in the background, consulting with people. All right, results are in. So we had Green Book was the correct answer at 13%. Thanks to Lawson and Julia. I couldn't even read the sponsor fast enough. Oh my goodness. All right, you can see how it's going to work. There are our team rankings and our individual rankings. Like I said, it's going to move. Points are going to keep adding and adding up. So Ben and Larissa Bear are sponsor this question. What is the name of the largest paddle wheel steamboat on the Mississippi whose home port is Memphis? Is it Lady Mississippi, the Memphis Mayflower, Gem of the South, or the American Queen? If you don't know the answer is always C, right? All right, time is ticking down. Make sure you get those answers in. And let's see. Looks like most of you thought it was the American Queen, and you were correct. I see some high fives happening out there. So as you can see, the faster you answer those questions, the more points you're going to get. We got University of Memphis just edging out barely in our team rankings. All right, from Scott and Suzanne Baum, this oldest tavern in Memphis is famous for Machine Gun Kelly's shootout. Is it Alex's Tavern, Green Beetle, Rayford's, or Ernestine and Hazel's? Oldest tavern in Memphis. It's making me want to visit. All these. This entire round is sponsored by the Beth Shalom Synagogue. We thank all of our sponsors today. All right, let's see what everyone thinks it is. And it looks like Ernestine and Hazel's, but it was the Green Beetle. Not many of you got that one right. I guess now everyone knows where they need to visit next. Oh my gosh, we have a dead tie. Who is going to win that celebration? Our next question by Joel and Marianne Bessoff. Graceland is the second most visited private home in the country next to, is it Monticello, Hearst Castle, the White House, or Mount Vernon? The second most visited private home in the country. All right, time is ticking down. The points are dwindling. Looks like most people think it's the White House. And you were right. The White House. You know, feel free. You can turn those mics on and talk to each other. Or talk in the chat to each other. It's always a good game when people give each other a little ribbing, right? All right, our next question from Art and Stacy Canales. Memphis's official city tree is the magnolia, the dogwood, the oak, or is it the maple? Which is Memphis's official city tree? So this round we have 30 seconds per question. But in later rounds, we're going to have less and less time. So these are like our practice rounds. And what did y'all think it is? 46% said dogwood. And 46% of you were right. That's right, Jennifer Roberts. Raise the roof. Adam pulls ahead. Let's see which team is out front. University of Memphis holding on to that lead. All right, so that was round one. Everybody sees how it's done now, right? We're going to be starting round two in just a moment. Our sponsor for this round is Wendy and Avrin Fogelman. Thank you, Wendy and Avrin Fogelman, for sponsoring our second round of the Hillels of Memphis Yiddish Cup online trivia tournament. Both of our teams, thank you. All right. I don't think anybody needs a snack break, so we can just go ahead and start our next round. All right. Memphis's official flower. Is it the azalea, the pansy, the dandelion, or the crepe myrtle? This question is sponsored by Richard and Melissa Faber. Memphis's official flower. This is the kind of stuff you learn in like elementary school. So if you weren't born in Memphis, might be a tricky one. Azalea, pansy, dandelion, or the crepe myrtle? Let's see what you thought it was. And 56% think it's the azalea. 33% think crepe myrtle. Oh my goodness. The crepe myrtles have it. That's right, Carolyn. Great job. And University of Memphis is holding on. All right, our next question from Mark and Cindy Finestone. Memphis has one of the top urban park systems in the nation, covering how many acres? Is it 7,000? Is it 300? Is it 4,000? Or is it 70,000? How many acres in the top urban park system in the nation? All right, get those answers in. Let's see. Most of you guessed 7,000. Now, was that a guess or an educated guess? I guess you all have been there. Everyone hangs out at the park. All right, Adam. We see you there in first place. But this is a very tight race between these two teams. All right, from Rabbi Joel and Bluma Finkelstein, we've got question 3. Which famous writer dubbed Memphis the Good Samaritan City of the Mississippi? Is it William Faulkner, Charles Dickens, Mark Twain, or Ernest Hemingway? Hopefully you are not waiting for me to finish reading before you answer, because I want you to get all the points. Is it William Faulkner, Charles Dickens, Mark Twain, or Ernest Hemingway? And most of you said William Faulkner, but it was Mark Twain. That was a pretty split decision. If you said Mark Twain, you were correct. And University of Memphis still holding on. But remember, anything can happen, especially when we get to that last round. All right, David and Dory Greenberg are sponsors for this question. Which famous actor was born in Memphis in 1937? Was it Billy Bob Thornton, Samuel L. Jackson, Morgan Freeman, or Forrest Whitaker? Famous actor born in Memphis in 1937. I didn't think any of these people were that old. I guess at least one of them is. All right. Who did you choose? Our crowd thinks it's Morgan Freeman. And it's Morgan Freeman. I see some smiles. Ah, someone pulled ahead of Adam. Remember, we've got prizes for first, second, and third place. And University of Memphis maintaining their sliver of a lead. All right, Rabbi Micah Greenstein brings us question number 5. Aside from the Peabody, this is the only establishment that serves food and drink and keeps livestock on the property. Is it Silky O'Sullivan's, Silly Goose, Coastal Fish, or is it Bar Dog? It sounds like a place I want to go. Keeps livestock on the property. Pretty cool. And most of you say Silky O'Sullivan's. And it is Silky O'Sullivan's, I expect. Look at all those greens. All right, let's see how our teams are doing. Still so close between our two teams. All right, so our next round, there's going to be more questions. There'll be more questions and less time to answer those questions. Round 3 is Jewish Memphis history, and round 3 is sponsored by Mark and Diane Halperin. Once again, I am so sorry to anyone whose name I am saying incorrectly today. Does not mean we love you any less for your generosity. All right. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are ready to move on to the next round. Yes? I see lots of thumbs. All right, let's see who knows what about Jewish Memphis history. Okay, this is brought to us by Dan and Carrie Unowski. Ricki's Cookies is beloved by thousands of people across the country. Before Ricki's was founded, Eastgate Mall, where it is located, was home to other Jewish eateries. Which of the following was not located in the Eastgate Mall? Is it Gottlieb's Deli, Fiddler on the Roof, Kippers, or Samovars? Which one is it? And 48% think it's Fiddler on the Roof. But it was Kippers. I wish I knew what any of these I wish I knew what these places were. But Shell knew that place. Shell knew that place. Shell's in first place now, along with the University of Memphis. All right, for 250 points, Mimi Grossman brings us our next question. Which unexpected location historically served as a Taschlich spot for East Memphis? The Wolf River, the Mississippi River, the JCC pool, or a drainage ditch? Which one is it? All right, it looks like we're pretty split, but it's a drainage ditch. Of course, good old drainage ditch. All right, Rhodes College, don't worry, we are just going to get more and more points on these rounds as we go on. You'll have plenty of chances to catch up. This question brought to us by Sean and Lisa Harris. Which famous singer was known to frequent the JCC racquetball court late at night? Was it Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Justin Timberlake, or Isaac Hayes? When in doubt, just pick your favorite and cross your fingers. I'm a Johnny Cash girl myself. But most of you think it's Elvis Presley. And Elvis Presley was the right answer. Thank you, Sophie, for throwing that up in the chat. Yes, if you joined late, you can go to this website there. Or I'm sharing the screen. You can scan the QR code to join and get in the game. All right, Larry and Jenny Herman bring us our next question. Baron Hirsch services were originally in this famous singer's home on Shady Grove. Is it Memphis Slim, Booker T. Jones, Isaac Hayes, or Elvis Presley? Would we make Elvis the answer 2 questions in a row? Maybe we would. Maybe we wouldn't. Let's see what you all think. You're like, no way is Elvis the answer twice in a row. Isaac Hayes was the right answer. Y'all really know your Memphis history. All right, you see how close this game is? It's very close between the two teams. All right, our next question from Rabbi Sarah Horowitz. Who was the first Jewish settler in Memphis? Was it David Hart, Abe Schwab, Abe Plow, or Joseph Andrews? Who was the first Jewish settler in Memphis? We're about to find out. Most of you think it's Abe Schwab. But it was David. David Hart was the correct answer. Now don't worry. You don't lose points for incorrect answers until we get to the last round. But for now, you're safe. All right. We've had a shakeup in those top 3 players. I told you it would happen. All right. We are coming up on round 4. Oh, Heather. Heather, you're from New York? I used to live in New York.
Where I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah, I was in upstate New York. So we're about to start our next round, which is Jewish Memphis History 2. More Jewish Memphis history. All right, our next round sponsor is Drew and Risa Herzog. And everyone give me a thumbs up if we're ready to get started. All right, I see some thumbs. So we will go ahead and skip the rest of our countdown. All right, this is brought to you by Hutchinson and Greenberg. They are our sponsor for this question. This Jewish organization in Memphis eventually became Memphis Jewish Home and Rehab. Was it the Hebrew Benevolent Society, Plow Towers, Beth Shalom Home, or B'nai B'rith Home? Which Jewish organization in Memphis eventually became Memphis Jewish Home and Rehab? Let's see. Most of you think B'nai B'rith Home. And it was. I'm scared to say it again just in case I'm not saying it right. All right. We are still really close between everybody. Our next question from Charles and Monique Jelinek. Joseph Andrews, a merchant and cotton broker, started this organization in 1847 as the first Jewish institution in Memphis. Was it Hebrew Free Loan Society, Hebrew Benevolent Society, Baron Hirsch Synagogue, or B'nai B'rith? Just going to make me keep saying it. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Like, seriously.
It's B'nai, but you're really
B'nai.
close.
Okay. All right. So the answer was B, Hebrew Benevolent Society.
Where are we?
That will not be the first or last thing that I butcher this afternoon, I'm sure. Hopefully everyone here has a good sense of humor. All right, Mark and Rebecca Kaplowitz. Which epidemic caused many Jews to flee Memphis in 1873 and 1878? Was it A, scarlet fever, B, bubonic plague, C, influenza, or D, yellow fever? I feel like they should have thrown in like a token corona in there that we know wouldn't have been correct. Just a... All right, let's see. Yellow fever is what basically everyone chose, and you all were correct. Thank you, Mark and Rebecca, for that question. So you can see our point totals on the board. Even the difference between our first place and current last place, there's not that big of a point spread. Question number 4 brought to us by Sarah Keith in this round. This hospital currently sits on the site of the original Hebrew cemetery. Is it A, Methodist, B, St. Francis, C, the VA hospital, or D, Baptist? This hospital currently sits on the site of the original Hebrew cemetery. And let's see what everyone thought. Most everybody thinks it's the VA hospital. And you were right. Once again, I'm very impressed that everyone knows so much about history. So University of Memphis maintaining their lead. But if you look, really it's about how fast you answer those questions. So this next question is from Michael and Jolie Kisber. They are our sponsor. Before the Pinch District became a predominantly Jewish area, it was largely inhabited by settlers from this country. Is it A, Russia, B, Italy, C, Ireland, or D, Poland? Which country? This is another one where we're all pretty split, but it was Ireland. I will not punish you with an Irish accent. All right, University of Memphis, hanging on. Whichever team is in the lead when we finish will get bragging rights and a celebration for their campus. But we all know the bragging rights are really the biggest prize. All right, so round 5 is about to begin, brought to you by Billy and Robin Orgel. They are our sponsors for the next round. Thank you so much, Billy and Robin Orgel. Our next round, the topic is Memphis music history. So we'll see how much everybody knows about Memphis music. Give me a thumbs up if we are ready to go ahead. And this round is brought to you, or this question is brought to you by Scott and Barbara Klasmer. They are our sponsors for this question. Before it changed its name to Stax Records in 1961, it was known as what? Bluff City Records, Sun Studio, Atlantic Records, or Satellite Records? Before it changed its name to Stax Records, what was the company known as? All right, another one where we're pretty evenly divided, but the answer was Satellite Records. Let's see how everyone is faring in our point total. There we go. And University of Memphis still hanging on. All right, David and Elaine Kruger are our sponsors for this question. Which Memphis radio station was the first to play an Elvis Presley record? Is it WREC, WDIA, WHBQ, or WMC? In broadcasting school, we were taught to say W, like full W's all the time. Which W will it be? And most of you thought it was WDIA, but it was actually WHBQ. How did you all not know that? All right. University of Memphis. I am really hoping that Rhodes College overtakes you at least once during this game, just because it would be more exciting, right? Question 3 from Reed and Shelley Landau. This Memphis musician won 3 Grammys in his lifetime, all for gospel music. Was it Elvis Presley, Aretha Franklin, Booker T. Jones, or B.B. King? You can probably rule out one unless there's just some grammatical error in that question. And maybe there is. All right. Oh, but it was Elvis Presley. Elvis apparently is always the answer. Oh, and the Top Hat family. I think this is their first time moving up into that top 3. Top Hat family. Congratulations. Let's see who's going to hang on to those top 3 prizes. They're going to get a gift certificate from Robert Irwin Jewelers. Nat and Leslie Landau also sponsored this question. What does BB stand for in BB King's name? Is it Blues Boy, Bobby Blue, Big Boy, or Beal Boy? What is the BB? What does it stand for? And most of you think it's Blues Boy. And it was Blues Boy. Carolyn says she paid attention on the Sun Studio tour. All right, Shell, Team Ostrow, and Top Hat family currently in our 1, 2, and 3 places. All right, question 5, sponsored by Rabbi Benjamin and Orit Lairfield. This Memphis musician was originally born in Millington, Tennessee. Is it Juicy J, DJ Paul, 3 6 Mafia, or Justin Timberlake? Carolyn, did you pay attention on this tour 2? Which Memphis musician was originally born in Millington? You thought it was Justin Timberlake. And you were right. Justin Timberlake. Good old JT. And no movement in our top 3 after that question. All right. Let's see. Susan and Fred Levko are sponsoring our next question. This Memphis musician bought his first guitar while serving in the military in Germany. Was it Johnny Cash, Booker T. Jones, Elvis Presley, or B.B. King? Johnny Cash, Booker T. Jones, Elvis Presley, or B.B. King? And let's see what everybody thinks. You think I'm going to make Elvis the answer to another question, but I told you I was a Johnny Cash girl. Johnny Cash. No change in our top 3. Let's see what's happening with our teams. University of Memphis really wants that celebration for their campus. All right, Dr. James and Laura Lindler, thank you for sponsoring our next question. This Memphis musician's fur-lined and gold-plated 1972 Cadillac El Dorado is on display at the Stax Museum. Is it B.B. King? Is it Isaac Hayes? Is it Johnny Cash? Or Booker T. Jones? Which Memphis musician's fur-lined and gold-plated 1972 Cadillac El Dorado is on display at the Stax Museum? All right, most of you thought that it was Isaac Hayes. And you are correct. Can't fool you all. And nothing changes in our top 3. But Rhodes College did gain a little traction on that question. They lessened that lead. All right, Clifton and Sandra Lippman are the sponsor of our next question. There's going to be 10 in this round. Which hotel was the broadcasting home of WHBQ's world-famous radio program, Red, Hot, and Blue, hosted by Dewey Phillips? Is it the Holiday Inn Hotel? Is it the Chiska Hotel? Is it the Big Cypress Lodge? Or is it the Peabody Hotel? Which hotel was it? Was it the Peabody? Was it the Chiska? It was the Chiska. All right, we had a little shakeup in the top 3. Jennifer moving on up. And University of Memphis just not letting go. All right, our next question from Sherry Lippman. Drake recorded which music video at the legendary Royal Studios? Was it The Motto, Worst Behavior, Started from the Bottom, or Headlines? Which music video was recorded by Drake at the legendary Royal Studios? How many of you know who Drake is? All right, 37% said Worst Behavior. Be honest, how many of you were just guessing? All right. Jennifer is moving up. Jennifer knows about Drake. And I think we have one more question in our round, which was sponsored by Billy and Robin Orgel. This one is brought to us by Lubin Property Management. Which song did Elvis record in 1954 that launched his career? Was it Jailhouse Rock, All Shook Up, That's All Right, or Hound Dog? Which one is it? All right. Most people think it is Hound Dog, but it was That's All Right. Who's going to sing it? Anyone? Anyone? No? No? Someone? No. University of Memphis still hanging on, but we are going to be going to the next round in just a moment. And the next round means more points, more chances to catch up, more chances for Rhodes College to kick University of Memphis's butt. All right, our next round will be sponsored by Joe and Jennifer Roberts. Thank you so much for your generosity in sponsoring our round 6, which is Rhodes and University of Memphis trivia. So who knows about sports? I hope everybody knows about some sports because we have a whole round of questions coming up. Thumbs up if we are ready. All right, let's go on to our next round. All right, for 750 points, Memphis Jewish Home and Rehab is sponsoring our question. Which of the following is not a former name of Rhodes College? Is it Stewart College, Borough College, Southwestern, the College of Mississippi Valley, or Masonic University of Tennessee? As you can see, we started with less time. We're just going to get faster and faster, and our points are going to be, our questions are going to be worth more and more points. Most of you said D, Masonic University of Tennessee, but the answer was Borough College. 29% of you got that right. And you can see our points are just going to start going crazy over there. At 750 points, just one question can totally bump somebody out of their spot. All right, Paul and Diane Mendelson sponsored our next question. Which building on the Rhodes campus is home of the Seal of Rhodes College? Is it Southwestern Hall, Glassell Hall, Borough Hall, or Kennedy Hall? Which building on the Rhodes campus is home of the Seal of Rhodes College? You thought it was Southwestern Hall, and you were correct, or at least 52% of you. Top Hat family coming back. They're in 4th place. But we've still got those top 3 teams up, and Rhodes College gaining some points there. All right, what types of trees line the ceremonial entrance to the Rhodes College campus? Is the magnolia, the dogwood, the oak, or the maple? Thank you to Ken and March Millman for sponsoring this question. What types of trees line the ceremonial entrance to the Rhodes College campus? This is just for you, Rhodes. Time for you to beat Memphis. We said oak, and it is oak. All right. Those top 3 are still hanging on. And Rhodes College, you did gain some points there. Paul and Amy Needleman, they are the sponsor of our next question. President Marjorie Haas is which president of Rhodes College? The 18th, the 25th, the 20th, or the 12th? President Marjorie Haas. The 18th, the 25th, the 20th, or the 12th? All right, you thought it was the 20th, and it is the 20th. Let's see. Rhodes College. See, I misled you. I said sports. Sports is the next round. You guys are doing well here. Look at that, Rhodes. This next question, I predict you're going to take them. All right, Marilyn, not a witch, the sponsor of our next question. Where was the original campus of Rhodes College located? Was it Nashville, Clarksville, Millington, or Jackson? Which was the original campus? Was it Clarksville? Let's find out. It was Clarksville. And let's see where our teams are. Ah, Rhodes! I swore that was going to put you over the top. All right, Ron and Stephanie Osher are the sponsor of our next question. Which of the following is not a current or former name of the University of Memphis school newspaper? Is it the Tiger Rag, the Daily Helmsman, the Tiger Daily, or the Helmsman? Oh goodness. Which of the following is not a current or former name of the University of Memphis school newspaper? You thought it was the Tiger Rag, but it was the Tiger Daily. Apparently there was a Tiger Rag, but there was not a Tiger Daily. Shell is killing it. Did Shell get a list of the questions printed out to them in advance? Yeah. Irwin and Rose Ostrow are sponsoring our next question. Which is the only other school in the country with a live tiger as its mascot? Is it Clemson University, Auburn University, LSU, or the Tuskegee University? Which is the only other school in the country with a live tiger as its mascot? You think it's LSU, and you were correct. LSU. Yeah, Shell. They want to know who you are. Show Shell's face. Where is Shell? All right, our next question. What is the name of the University of Memphis's fight song? Is it March On, Go Tigers Go, Fight On Tigers, or The Pride of Blue and Gray? Sponsored by Arnold and Lynn Pearl. The name of the University of Memphis's fight song. And it's Go Tigers Go. It was Go Tigers Go. So Hal is new in our top 3. And University of Memphis is still hanging on. All right, in what year did Memphis State University get changed to University of Memphis? Was it 2001, 1972, 1992, or 1994? Charles and Carol Plasovsky are our sponsors for this question. Just one more question in this round, and then we'll move on to those sports. All right, 36% of you think it is 1992, but it was 29% of you got the answer correct, which was 1994. Jennifer is coming back. Our teams are looking the same. And it's our last question of this round. What year was University of Memphis founded? Was it 1922, 1904, 1892, or 1912?
Normal college or no?
Yeah.
Temple Israel Sisterhood is our sponsor for this question. And let's not forget our sponsor for the entire round, Joe and Jennifer Roberts. Thank you to all of our generous sponsors today. All right, 44% of you think it is 1912. And you were right. 1912.
Drop.
Yeah. So that ends round 6. We have 2 more rounds to go because there's 8 rounds total. University of Memphis is in the lead but not by very much. Not by very much at all. So our next round is Memphis sports trivia. Now we pull out the sports questions. I believe these are going to be worth 1,000 points apiece. Remember, the faster you answer, the more points you get. And there is no penalty for wrong answers yet. It is the last round where you can get a wrong answer and it will not matter to your life at all whatsoever. All right, thumbs up if we are ready to get going. Our next round is sponsored by Robinson Toyota. Thank you so much, Robinson Toyota. All right, let's get that game going. The Redbirds are the AAA affiliate of which baseball team? Is it the Minnesota Twins, the Texas Rangers, the St. Louis Cardinals, or the Atlanta Braves? Thank you to Mark and Jan Reisman for being our sponsors. The Redbirds are the AAA affiliate of which baseball team? And what did everybody think? Everybody thinks it's the St. Louis Cardinals. Makes sense. Redbirds, Red Cardinals, and you were correct. It was a baseball question, but it was kind of a softball question. Ha ha ha. Carolyn liked my joke. Carolyn liked my joke. All right, not much changing over there with our teams just yet. But in what year did ESPN name the Grizzlies as the #1 sports franchise? Was it 1995, 2003, 2017, or 2013? David and Rose Ross sponsored this question for us today. And most of you think it's 2013. and most of you were correct. I am so impressed by all of you. So Shell and Team Ostrow and Jennifer, hang on to those top 3 places. University of Memphis still hanging on there as well. Which former U.S. president hit a hole-in-one at the Danny Thomas Memphis Classic in 1977? Was it Gerald Ford, Ronald Reagan, George W. Bush, or Barack Obama? GD Royal is our sponsor for this question. Don't worry, if sports isn't your thing, we only have 7 more of these. 71% said Gerald Ford. And you came through. All right, Shell, Team Ostrow, and Jennifer, you are looking good for one of those Robert Irwin Jewelers gift certificates. But again, anything can happen. Things tend to get crazy in round 8 when we start taking points away. What year did the Memphis Grizzlies move to Memphis? Was it 2001, 1998, 2007, or 2012? Alex and Deborah Saharovic were our sponsors for this question. Which year did the Memphis Grizzlies move to Memphis? And 46% thinks it's 2001. You were correct. I'm never doubting you. All right, Shell, Team Ostrow, and Hal. Hanging in there. Still a really close game between both of the teams. Like less than 1 question separates the 2 of you. The Grizzlies relocated to Memphis from what city? Was it Kansas City, Washington, D.C., Vancouver, or Cincinnati? Harry and Flora Samuels sponsored this question. And don't think you have to wait for me to finish answering. If you see it pop up and know the answer, like, get on those points. All right, Vancouver, overwhelmingly everyone's favorite response. And you were correct. All right, there you can see where you stand. And still very close between both of our teams. All right, Elkin and Lori Scheidt sponsored our next question. What was the 1 year the Tennessee Titans play in Memphis in the Liberty Bowl? Is it 2001, 1997, 2000, or 1994? What was the 1 year the Tennessee Titans played in Memphis in the Liberty Bowl? And, oh, we're kind of all over the place on this one, but it was 1997, the year of my high school graduation. Go figure. And there you see it. Not a lot changing just yet. I cannot wait till this next round, though. What years did the Memphis Redbirds win back-to-back Pacific Coast League championships? Was it 2014, 2015, 2017, 2018, 2002 to 2003, or 1999 to 2000? Thank you to Adam and Carolyn. Carolyn Schreier. All right. And you guys thought it was 2014 to 2015, but it was 2017 to 2018. With 15,000 points, Shell is still at the top of our leaderboard. And there are our team rankings. If you actually look at how many are answered correct, you're very, very close. It's just about who's the fastest at this point. Who did the Memphis Grizzlies play in the Western Conference Finals in 2012-2013 season? Was it San Antonio Spurs, Los Angeles Lakers, Dallas Mavericks, or Denver Nuggets? Thank you to Stephen and Rachel Shankman for this question. Who did they play? Was it the San Antonio Spurs? If you thought it was, I bet it was. And it was. And Robbie finds his way up into that top 3. I told you, with this many points at stake, it's still anybody's game. Who has not been a head coach for the Memphis Tigers basketball program? I'm going to get his name wrong, even though I listened to a thing 4 times telling me how to pronounce it. Or is it Josh Pastner? Or is it Penny Hardaway? Or is it W. Smith? And I should say we're sponsored by Rabbi Bess Woolner and Rabbi Jeremy Simons. All right, you thought it was the name I could not pronounce, and you were correct. It's Mike, the name I can't pronounce. Shell. Can anybody beat Shell? Okay, I think we have one more question in this round from Todd and Amy Singer. Who is the current head coach for the Memphis Grizzlies? Is it Taylor Jenkins, Lionel Hollins, Steve Kerr, or Dave Georger? Who is the current head coach for the Memphis Grizzlies? And you said Taylor Jenkins, and you were correct. It's Taylor Jenkins. So let's see where everyone stands at the end of that round. Robbie hung in there in that third place, battling it out for those gift certificates to Robert Irwin Jewelers. And University of Memphis still has bragging rights, but that can change this next round. So round 8, it's the round we've been talking about. It's the round we've all been waiting for. It is the round where anything can happen. So in this round, not only do you need to answer quickly, but you need to answer correctly, because if you get it wrong, you will lose the number of points that you would have gained had you answered it correctly. So you want to be fast, but you want to be accurate. You may also want to be strategic. Okay, round 8 sponsors are Michael and Sharon Goldstein. Thank you so much to them for generously sponsoring this last round today. Round 8, our category, the Hillels of Memphis trivia. All right, everyone have their fast fingers ready? Yes? Thumbs up if we are ready to get started on our final round. I'm very excited to see who is going to come out on top. Okay, Hillel at Memphis State College was put on the map in the 1950s when Avron Slutsky, Herb Nutowich, Al Burson, and Charles Plazowski needed an organization to sponsor their team in a what kind of tournament? Siskind Susser was our sponsor for this question. Trying to fit a lot of words in that 20 seconds. Oh, you thought it was golf, but it was softball. So we're going to probably start seeing some people move around. And University of Memphis still on top, but anything can happen this round. Next question. Before it was Federation, this organization, run by Jack Lieberman at the time, helped provide funding for Hillel at Memphis State College. This question, sponsored by Dr. Scott and Kimberly Strom. Was it Hillel International, Memphis Jewish Community Center, Jewish Welfare Fund, or B'nai B'rith? You thought it was the Jewish Welfare Fund, and you were correct. As long as you're one of those 48%, you did not lose any points. Let's see what it did to our rankings. And looks like everything so far is staying pretty close. All right, local Jewish professionals in this rule were largely responsible for running Hillel at Memphis State University in the early days. Was it Temple Israel Rabbi, JCC Assistant Director, Israeli Shul, oh no, MHA Director? Temple Israel Brotherhood sponsored this question. All right, so we think it's the JCC Assistant Director. You were correct. But Shell, I think Shell's lost some points. Someone can get him or her. I'm not sure who Shell is either, Carolyn. Which former Hillel International President attended the launch of Rhodes Hillel in 2018? Was it Richard M. Joel? Was it Adam Lehman? Was it Wayne Firestone or Eric Fingerhut? Jason and Molly Wexler are sponsors for this question. And we think it's Eric Fingerhut. Some of us do anyway. And some of us were right. Eric Fingerhut. All right, Team Ostrow and Jennifer, you are moving up. Catching up. Still anybody's game between these two teams, though. All it takes is one getting it right and one getting it wrong. Which person is not a former director of Hillels of Memphis? Was it Sherry Weinblatt, Jeremy Weiser, Rachel Shankman, or Rabbi Jeremy Simons? This question sponsored by Mark and Sally Wender. Thanks, Mark and Sally. Okay, Jeremy Weiser was the most popular answer. Jeremy Weiser was also the correct answer. Did you choose Jeremy Weiser? Oh my goodness. I think I need a sip of water. All right. Don't start bragging yet, University of Memphis. Which coach is responsible for sustaining the Jewish Student Union at Rhodes for decades by hosting Shabbat dinners in his home? Sponsored by Watkins, Uberell, Lieb, Blockman, Keenan, PLLC. We think it's Coach Robert Shankman. And it was. Did anyone attend? Who attended one of those dinners? All right, Jennifer found her way back into one of those top 3 spots. Again, very close between our 2 teams. The Morris S. Fogelman Jewish Student Union, the University of Memphis Hillel home up until today, was founded in what year? 1984, 2011, 2003, or 1974? Thank you to Wagerman Katzman for being our sponsor. And 1984 was everybody's best guess. And it was 1984. So if you answered 1984, you got points. If you answered anything else, you lost some points. And again, so close. How much did the land for the Morris S. Fogelman Jewish Student Union originally cost? Was it $100,000, $40,000, $10,000, or $50,000? This question is sponsored by Wendy and Avron Fogelman. They probably know the answer. All right, 42% said $40,000. You were correct. And here are our standings. Once again, just one question can shoot somebody right to the top, so don't despair. You still are in it for those gift certificates. Originally, furnishings for the Morris S. Fogelman Jewish Student Union came from what hotel in St. Louis? The Drury Plaza Hotel, the Union Station Hotel, the Statler Hotel, or the Grand Hall Lounge? Thank you to Mark and Diane Halperin for this question. And half of you thought it was the Union Station Hotel, but it was the Statler Hotel. We're going to see some drops and some points. What's it going to do to our standings? So in first we have Shell, second team Ostrow, and third Jennifer. University of Memphis pulling ahead. I think we are on to our very last question. So be fast. This beloved Memphian was the first Holocaust survivor to ever share their testimony at Rhodes College. Was it A, Nina Katz, B, Frieda Weinreich, C, Sam Weinreich, or D, Leonid Saharovic? Drew and Risa Herzog were our sponsors. You said C, and C was the correct answer. So there we see our overall winning players. We have Shell in first. Whoops. I will go back to those. But University of Memphis definitely gets our bragging rights. They kept it up the entire game. They just did not give it up at all, did they? All right, let's see. We want to see, those were our winning players for that round, but we want to see our overall standings, right? So let's show our multi-game rankings. There we go. So in first place, we had Shell. He just never gave up that lead either. In second place, we have Team Ostrow. And in third place, we had Jennifer. Everybody else also just did really great. I'm looking at the number of questions answered correctly, and for the most part, it was just because these people clearly spend too much time on their computers and are really fast at clicking buttons. All right, I am going to turn it back over. And I think, I see people clapping. I think we have a short video that we're going to watch.
Hey guys, this is Coach Ryan Sorfield with your University of Memphis football team. I want to thank you all today for participating in the fundraising event for the Hillels of Memphis. Thank you so much to our generous sponsors for everything you do in supporting this event. I hope to see you all in person very soon. Thank you, and go Tigers go.
All right, and we have one last speaker.
All right, everybody. Hey, thank you again for participating in today's tournament. My name's Daniel Snyder, and I'm a member of the U of M Hillel Advisory Council, as well as co-chair of the Yiddishe Cup. We'd like to extend another huge thank you to all of our sponsors today who have stepped up to support Jewish life on campus. Hillels of Memphis is a program of the Memphis Jewish Federation, which is operated by the Jewish Community Partners. So we'd like to extend a special thank you to the corporate sponsors of JCP, who are dedicated to supporting Jewish life all across Memphis. Last but not least, we'd like to thank the Hillels of Memphis Advisory Council members for their ongoing guidance and support throughout the school year. We couldn't do it without you all. We hope you know of the opportunities available for the community engagement with our campuses throughout the year, in particular our faculty lecture series and other programs that connect students with the larger Memphis Jewish community. Next year, we hope to see you at the 14th Annual Yiddishe Cup in person.
All right, thanks again, everybody, for joining us. I hope you all had a wonderful time at the Hillels of Memphis Yiddishe Cup online trivia tournament. As I said, hopefully next time you will all be able to get together in person. But I hope this was a close second for you all. Congratulations again to our winners of those gift certificates from Robert Irwin Jewelers. That's Shell, Team Ostrow, and Jennifer. And congratulations on those bragging rights to the University of Memphis. And also your celebration, but mostly those bragging rights, because we know that's what's really important. My name's Carmen. I've had a wonderful time with you all this afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and everyone have a great summer.
Thanks, Carmen. Thanks, everyone. See you next year in person.